at all. I
Turn
can't see anything.
Let me turn the volume down. I'll get you sorted out, love. And we're live. Good morning. Is it good? No, just good afternoon.
Is it? Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. How are we all doing? So apologies for the quietness from us over the last week or so.
Pretty much since Bad Santa aired, literally the day after. And this is why, because we've both been on our deathbeds.
Man flu.
Mate, how bad has it been?
Rough. Like, really, really rough.
I know you're king of, like, pulling a sickie, but, like, genuinely this time...
Yeah.
In fact, I think I gave it to you, didn't I? Because I was one that started feeling ropey first.
Pretty much.
But yeah, we've both been laid up in bed for, what, the last 4 or 5 days?
Yeah. When did we do Bad Santa with that?
We finished filming Bad Santa on Wednesday night.
Yeah, so since Wednesday.
And literally Thursday morning, we were both in a bad way. Very bad way.
Have we got anybody watching? My phone is completely dead, so I can't
just jumping
see.
on the live video now. You can have my laptop and I'll have my phone. There you go.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, there's a couple on so far.
The good thing is, and anybody struggling with weight troubles will love this, but the good thing about being poorly is you stop eating.
You certainly do.
And,
I must admit, I was absolutely... Do you remember me telling you that story? That I took a pair of 36-inch waist Levi's home. Oh, in fact, it was when we went out last, and I took a pair of 36-inch waist Levi's.
It sounded like you were
going to
start singing then. I took a pair
of Levi's. Yeah, and I took them home, these 36-inch waist Levi's, and I couldn't get them on. And I rung you, I'm like, I'm not coming. I was like, what's up here? I can't get into a pair of 36-inch waist Levi's. I'm a fat bastard. I got into them over there.
Did you?
So, yeah, clearly this... knackers to your bloody weight loss injections. Just get it once a month. Oh, dear me.
So, yeah, how are we doing, everybody? Thank you very much for joining us. The reason why we've gone live this afternoon is just to speak about the Rolex that's going tomorrow. So, we have that. I forgot, really. Should have took it out of storage.
Sky Dweller.
Yeah, and then I could have showed people it. But it is that beautiful Rolex Sky Dweller. Fantastic watch, absolutely amazing. Loads and loads of people love this watch. It's subtle, so it's not like the sports watches come in like the coloured dials and
not
stuff.
Blingy and in your face, but it's just subtly so refined and
It's beautiful.
so nice. It's a lovely, lovely timepiece. And as well, we were having a discussion with a certain gentleman yesterday, and they're a fantastic investment. Honestly, if you're if you're lucky enough that your number comes up tomorrow and you're in a position where you don't get me wrong, 10 grand is going to be life changing for anybody. But if you're in a position where you could maybe keep hold of that watch for even a couple of years, it's not something I don't think.
You're never going to lose money on it. I mean,
No.
well, they're not going to anyway, because if they've won it for 99 pence,
Exactly.
It's not like they've had to go out and spend, whatever. So we'll always be transparent. So that watch at retail these days will cost you about 15, 16 grand there or thereabouts. So that's retail. That's if you've got a boutique or a shop and you're able to sell that to an end user, 15, 16 grand there or thereabouts. It's got box papers, all that good stuff. Trade, I'm not entirely sure. We've not made any inquiries on it. But me personally, even if you win the watch and you're not interested in the watch and you want the 10 grand, I'd probably say take the watch and maybe take it to a trader, because you might potentially get more than 10 grand. And that's just us being completely honest and transparent. Yep. With the cars, that's a bit different. Look at the other day, we got his ass bitten. So the cash alternative was 28 grand. So it's a funny story, this. We paid just short of 40 grand for that Mercedes CLA. Bought it brand new off the showroom floor. Yes, you always lose 20%. But we put the cash alternative of 28 grand just to cover ourselves. We then put the car through We Buy Any Car just to get a rough idea of price, and it was coming back at like 25s.
It was 24, actually.
25.
And if anybody wants to watch it, if you go back on the video section on Facebook, when we did the check presentation with Dom, who actually won the car,
yeah,
me and Sid did it live So we actually ran it through We Buy Any Car live.
Yeah.
And it was unreal. I think when we delivered it, it had something like 191 miles.
So basically next to nothing then. is
Oh
what you're
yeah,
saying.
I mean it for all intents and purposes. I know, like legally, yes, it wasn't a new car, but you are not going to get. I mean, you're not going to get anything like close to that as a used car that's literally been driven 190 miles.
100%. Yeah.
Obviously, it's still got all the manufacturer's warranty. The back seats of that car had never been sat in ever.
No. And the thing is as well, the only reason we got our bacon saved is because it went back to Mercedes.
Yes.
And they paid us, I don't mind telling you at all, they paid us 28,500 for it. Every other trader was trying to offer us 25, 26 for it, and they would not budge.
Yeah.
Even people that we've done business with over the last 2 years and bought cars from us, they didn't want it.
Yeah, and we were lucky Mercedes wanted to take it back because, I mean, obviously I know they're sitting on quite a lot of stock at the minute, and I think one of the big reasons they did take it back is because it was so high spec and so low mileage. But again, they've got the if someone's looking for a used Mercedes, no one's got a better customer base than them, have they?
No, definitely not. So, this, sorry for going off on a tangent there, but the reason why I was speaking about that is just because, in terms of this watch, the Rolex market operates slightly different. Obviously, it does go up and down. There is movement within the market, but the watch primarily is worth what it's worth.
Yeah.
So 10 grand is the cash alternative if you want to take a quick payday and you can't be bothered going through the rigmarole of taking it somewhere to sell it. But in my honest opinion, trade on it. I don't want to shoot myself in the foot here, so take this conservatively, but it might be 11, 12 possibly.
Yeah, and again, it's the same with the cash alternatives. Obviously, that cash alternative is there as what it says on the tin. It's an alternative. If you don't want, the same with the cars, if you don't want to mess about selling it, if you're not interested in keeping it, and you'd just much rather it'd mean much more to you having that money in the bank quickly, rather than potentially having to take time out to go make appointments with jewelers and watch dealers. And it might take you a couple of weeks to get the price you want for it, but you might get more for it. There's no getting away from that.
100%, yeah, and we'll always look after you guys if we think you can get a bit more. It's same with the gold. Cash alternative has always been 70% of the total value of the prize. Now gold's gone through the roof, and like when the last lad won the gold, and we said take the gold.
Yeah,
there's
100%.
not in a million years you'd have to be stupid
not
to
take gold,
to not take it and just sell it yourself.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to get more money for it kind of makes sense. And this is what I'd say with this watch. Again, entirely up to you, but my personal opinion is take the watch, take it. I mean, we can put you in touch with reputable dealers that will take it off you and make sure that they don't pull your pants down. They will give you a very, very fair price. We're one of the team would even be happy to make that connection and give them a ring.
100%. And even if it's a female that wins it and actually fancies a Rolex, we can put you in touch with these people. They might even be able to put you a little trade deal together where if you potentially don't want that Sky Dweller, you could potentially take it to them and get like a cheaper Rolex and a little bit of cash back.
Yeah, 100%. So if you look on the screen now, so we've got it. It is absolutely stunning. So in terms of actual watch quality from Rolex, this particular timepiece is probably one of my personal favourites because it's the most complex movement that Rolex have ever created.
Right, okay.
Because it can display the date and the time, two separate dates and times.
So
from two separate countries. So, for businessmen or women that may travel potentially between two countries, America,
or if
here,
if
France.
You've got family in other countries and...
Yeah, exactly. And it enables you to set two completely different dates, times, the full
really
works.
Clever that.
Yeah, it's one of Rolex's most complicated movements, so that's why. And it's beautiful. You can see you've got the white gold as well on the bezel. It's just and for me, in terms of like a men's watch, it's the perfect size because you've got the 41mm, which on some blokes it can look a tiny bit too small.
Right.
depending on how thick your wrists are. You then, if you go to the other end of the scale, you've got stuff like the 45mm, which is the James Cameron. I'm sure that's the 45mm, which is really big. Have you ever seen one of those on somebody's wrist?
No, I haven't.
It's
Do you know what?
literally
I'm
like
just,
they're wearing a house.
I must admit, I'm not a massive jewellery person, I will say that. However, I would, if I was to ever own a watch, I would love to own a Rolex, but I would want something big.
Yeah. See, the James Cameron one, I really did love that at one point. And it wasn't until I went and actually looked at one, because potentially we were looking at for All-Star, and I put it on and I was like, wow, that is massive. One of those where like you could not hide it, so under like, say for instance, if you were wearing a shirt,
it'd bulge on the cuff.
Like you would not be able to hide it under the cuff. It'd have to be like, it'd have to stand outside proud. So this is what I'm saying. There's no way to hide that particular watch. Whereas some, they call it stealth wealth.
Stealth. So something you can just quickly hide away.
Yeah, this is it, 100%. Yeah, so.
And do you know what? Again, there's no getting away from it. In today's society, you have sort of got to be careful about wearing it out.
Yeah, 100%. No, 100%. If.
But again, the good thing is we can also, if the winner wants to keep the watch, we can also put you in touch with a specialist watch insurance company that I think can insure it for something like
30 quid a month.
30 quid a month, and it covers you for sort of accidental damage, loss, theft. And this particular insurance company, obviously, I don't want to start arousing arousing people who might be into unscrupulous things, but it's this particular insurance company don't use loss adjusters.
Yeah.
And can get you paid out within 10 days. So I'll say we were speaking to one of our contacts yesterday. Said he had a guy who had like a 20 grand Rolex. He had it stolen.
Marbella won it.
In Marbella. Got held at knife point in Marbella for this watch. Obviously he gave the watch, because if you got a machete to your throat, you would.
Yeah.
And within 10 days he got paid out and had a new watch on his wrist, near enough identical, I think he said, within 12 days of the original incident.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So
and let's face it, I mean, I would strongly suggest that if the winner does take the watch, you absolutely get this insured.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean,
crazy not to.
You wouldn't have a $2,000 car on your driveway and not insure it. So why would you have a $15,000 watch in your house and not insure it?
Insured.
Yeah,
100%. But yeah, like I said, it makes no difference to us whatsoever. If you want to take a quick payday, take that $10,000. We'll have it in your bank straight away. We'll come and see you. One of those big daft checks, highly likely Thursday.
Yes.
But if you decide to take the watch, we'll come and see you. We'll get it delivered. If you do want to sell the watch, we can point you in the right direction. And obviously you can try and get as much as possible.
Absolutely.
Please take my opinion with a pinch of salt in terms of value, because it can change on a daily basis depending on what's going. I mean, they're relatively stable at the moment.
I mean, I think they're around that kind of figure, but yeah, just like you said, just take what Matt said with a pinch of salt. There is it's Rolex. Well, watches in general are just like any other commodity. They're like gold, they're like silver, they're like any sort of crypto. The value fluctuates day by day by day.
Yeah.
So one day, I mean, it could crash tomorrow and be worth $10,000. It could go through the roof next month, and there might be a big surge on Sky Dwellers, and they might be worth 16, 17 grand. It depends on the day.
Yeah, 100%. So go get involved, grab yourself some tickets. I know there's still some instant wins on there, and Claire messaged me this morning. I think she said, I think it was last night, the iPhone got one, but there is still some stuff. I think I worked it out. There's about 1,800 quid's worth of instant wins left. But at the end of the day, now you're playing for that 10 grand for that watch. That's the big prize tomorrow, 7:30. We're going to be live and direct. Really, really looking forward to that. So please go get involved at allstarprizes.co.uk. We've also, ladies, it is your turn this week. That massive female bundle is up for grabs. Is it 99 pence an entry or £2?
It's 99 pence.
Is it 99 pence? I can't remember.
In that bundle, you've got a choice of handbag. We've put Michael Kors bag, but realistically, we could probably say choice of handbag, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Choice of handbag up to the value of £300.
I think that's what it does say.
No, it does say Michael Kors bag.
Or what does it say? Up to a value? Or?
Well, it says Michael Kors bag up to 300, but I think realistically,
right.
if someone, if someone took the bundle, you've got 300 quid to spend on an handbag, basically. So yeah, you've got the £300 handbag, you've got the 2021 Apple iPad, you've got a brand new iPhone 16, 128 gig, you've got a pair of Beats Solo 4 headphones, a Vivienne Westwood necklace, a bottle of Misty Dior perfume, and a pair of Cloud 9 hair straighteners. I don't know about you, but fellas, if I won that and I gave that to my missus, I think
happy life,
mate. She would be happy for months. No, in fact, no, not
a
months.
Week.
Oh yeah, maybe a few hours.
A week.
But listen, he's gonna buy your ladies he's gonna buy some good grace for your ladies. So give it to your wife, give it to your mistress, whoever you want to give it to.
Mistress. Who has one of them these days?
Listen,
one is in. Well, I say one's enough. None's enough for me.
Listen, happily married man, no more than one for me. She's enough. Absolutely.
But yeah, guys, I tell you what as well. I thought I'd mention it because it is ongoing, and I know we talk about a lot of stuff to do with personal life. So my little weight loss journey is going. It's going all right. Not too bad whatsoever. Look, I'll stand up. It's getting there. I'm like,
thing is, mate, you do know
because I went out here before.
Yeah, he'll ask me, and one thing like about us as mates is I will never bullshit you, will I? I'll always call stuff as they are. But do you know what? Genuinely, I am really, really proud of you because I know your relationship with food was very, very turbulent, and I'll give it to you, mate. You've done really, really well.
It still is to a certain sense. I'm scared, so I've got to have another jab tonight, and the dosage goes up. And obviously, you've seen all this scaremongering in media over this woman over last couple of days and stuff. So I am a bit.
But I mean, she were an older lady who already had health complications, and
God, I've got health complications at the minute.
Don't make me laugh.
Oh God.
Oh God, we're both going. Oh God, yeah. The stuff that you can catch in this office today.
Yeah, I know.
Germs are free.
Sorry. Zoe, do you know what? Could do with like a cough button, couldn't we? I think there is one on that.
Yeah, you can mute it.
Yeah, there is a cough button, but it's way over there. And I ain't got Mr. Tickle Arms, unfortunately. Yeah. Zoe Wilby's put, who can afford a mistress? Yeah, no, definitely not.
Can't afford a wife.
Yeah, no, this is it. That's why I'm single, Zoe, because I am the tightest man. He will back me up, I'm telling you now, right? Listen, I don't like spending my own money on myself sometimes, so never mind.
No, but do you know what? I think you're doing yourself a misservice there, because when you remember people's birthdays, you're very, very good. And you actually go out of your way and buy really good gifts.
Yeah, but I still aren't. I'm late now with Rob's. It was his birthday yesterday.
You're late with mine. Mine was in July. You did right. This is how bad he is at remembering birthdays. Right.
God.
We'd arranged an event at Tuna Fest, and I'd said all along, yes, I will be there. I'll be working. I says, but I'm bringing wife and kids because it is my birthday. He realised it was my birthday 6 hours into the event. But yeah, when he does remember your birthday, he's pretty good.
Yeah,
I must admit, you got your nan a lovely present yesterday. Have you given her it yet?
Yeah, I took it last night.
Was she happy?
I was saying this to my mum last night. I don't think she quite knows. Or I said to my mum, I don't know if she'll appreciate it because I don't know if she'll know what it is. She might just think it's a bottle of booze.
Is she one of them that might Google it though?
I don't know. I think my granddad will, possibly. Old Mr. Bilby will. But I remember, because what happened was, my tradition was, she used to be a vodka drinker, and I used to buy her a bottle of Belvedere.
Yeah,
every
time.
And what happened was, I think it was her son, which is my uncle, was there one time and he's seen the bottle of Belvedere outside and he went, bloody hell, have you want lottery or something? He said, do you drinking that, you posh gits? And my nana went, she goes, oh, what do you mean? He went, oh, well, it's expensive. It's about 40, 50 quid a bottle, that. And she was like, is it really that? And she had no clue.
Your nan had been throwing it back like it was Morrison's own.
Yeah.
Do you know what I like about Belvedere and Grey Goose is you don't get that horrible hangover with them.
Yeah, because it's clean. It's been distilled. It's straight. That is why when I go out on a night out, I will pay that little bit extra and I will go for Grey Goose. It's not because I'm trying to show off, because I'm not, because I mix it with Coke. Yeah. So I kill it off. But it's just the fact of the next day, right? Honest to God, if you go out on a night out next time and you drink vodka normally, like Smirnoff and stuff, have some Grey Goose or Belvedere, pay that little bit extra and get it. And I guarantee you the next day, every time I wake up, I've never got a proper bad hangover. No. You know, like sometimes before when I was younger, I used to wake up and the room was spinning. Your equilibrium were off. You felt like it were end of days. I've never, ever, ever had that through drinking that.
I can't go with hangovers anymore.
No, it's just...
I'd sooner cope with the... Oh, you going home already? Then, yeah, I want to get in bed before 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And wake up feeling semi-human because I cannot cope with hangovers now I'm old.
Well, I were meant to be this weekend just gone in Benidorm and it was all booked, paid for the full lot. I was just going out. I was flying out on Friday with Dean and Charlotte and Rob. And that's how poorly I was, guys. For me to miss Benidorm is a big thing. So I didn't end up going. But then I seen Dean and Charlotte's like updates and stuff. And I think they went out on Friday. They had the biggest night ever on Friday. And the feedback I heard was that Charlotte were being sick everywhere out in Square.
As soon as I saw the pictures from him at about 2 o'clock in the morning of Charlotte on the podium with the pole dancer, I thought, this ain't going to end well.
Yeah. Apparently, he was saying that the next day she didn't touch any beer and she didn't have anything to eat until 7 p.m. at night.
Oh, that's an hangover.
Yeah, so she must have been rough. Hangover. It's one of those where you just have to go out in the sun and sweat it out.
Yeah. The thought, honestly, we've both been that ill this last week. Even the thought of alcohol. There he goes again. Even the thought of alcohol turned my stomach.
It's terrible. Do you know the one thing, what got me for about 3 days solid and meant I had to stay in bed was my equilibrium. So literally I felt pissed every time I stood up. I wanted to fall over sideways. I had to drive. I had to go do something for the kids. And
it felt like you were driving, yeah. I said to you, didn't I? Because I think I'd left the house maybe a few hours before you'd gone out, and I'd messaged you, didn't I? And I said, whatever you do, if you're still feeling like this, do not drive. Because I drove I had to come and pick some paperwork up from office, and I had to drive from here to my house in Wakefield, and honestly, frightening.
Horrendous. Yeah, really bad. So, Chris Asquith, Ben Smith, how are we doing? Thank you very much for joining us, guys. So we've literally just gone live just to speak about the competitions. In fact, I'll just briefly, show you again on the website. It's weird, mate, because you know what I keep doing? So obviously that screen in front of us is replicating the one to my left. But my natural instinct is to move the mouse to the right. Right, okay, cool. So, competitions that are ending on Wednesday, tomorrow. There we go. What does it say? I can't see that full screen. 1 day and how many hours?
1 day, 7 hours, 53 minutes and 11 seconds.
So, the 100 grand is moving along nicely. That money
is motoring.
It is. That money is currently sat there, guys. I'm telling you now, right? Once this Rolex is done, if you want to get on there and get this one boxed off, we'll draw it.
We'll do it.
We'll draw it early before those 36 days. But before we get into Wednesday stuff, I'll just quickly check. Some of the prizes that are left in there are unreal. There's a 10 grand
cash.
And someone's got to win.
Imagine winning that instantly. Literally instantly. Within a split second that you've won it.
10 grand is massive, isn't it?
It's huge.
Chris Asquith has put you looking well. Matt 1.0, thank you very much, mate. He's trying to button me up here for some side credit or something like that.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
Back in the land of the living. almost. To be fair, Claire said to me today, she went, "Don't come in today, Matt," because I answered the phone and I sounded like shit.
Ropey.
And she went, "Just stay off." She went, "Just we've got it all under control and stuff, but I can't stay away." I've been off since. So what?
Well, you can see when I was in yesterday morning, you can see I've made a nice little list for us to do.
Yeah. I think, do you know what it is as well? Because over this weekend I've had the kids as well, which I shouldn't have really have done, but I've never, in the full time that me and Jane have been split up, I've never
not had the kids.
Not had them or made up some excuse or gone to the pub or anything like that. So I ended up with Harrison. It kind of backfired really because I ended up with him Friday night.
You told me as well. My heart melted when you told me about him looking after you.
Oh yeah, it was so
Listen,
funny.
if you know Harrison, he is
fucking evil.
He is. I don't mind speaking. I'll speak ill of Matt's children because he's a very, very good friend. Harrison he's a lovely kid, but he has definitely got the demon in him somewhere.
Oh,
and honestly, he rung me and I said, "How are you feeling?" He's like, "Yeah, not too bad." And then I said, "You've still got kids?" He's like, "Yeah, Harrison has been so good. He were proper looking after you, wasn't he?"
It was bizarre. It was like something had come down and abducted my actual son and brought back this
nice child.
But then the niceties become annoying because what he was doing is he's going, "Dad, I'm going to look after your business and help you make money. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to go around this house now and I'm going to find things that we don't use anymore and that we can sell. And we can put that money into your business and then we'll have more money." But then what he did was he went around to every single bedroom and picked, this is no exaggeration, about 30 different items from each bedroom and then piled them on top of me.
In bed.
And it were like a car boot sale on top of my bed, and I was too poorly to move. And I'm going, "Please stop!" And then it'd disappear for 30 seconds, and then he'd come back and be like, "Oh, Dad, I found these DVDs, and we don't need these anymore, and I reckon we can get £2 for these and that." And then he'd put them on bed, and I didn't have the heart to tell him, "Please stop." Just
yeah.
So yeah, he's back to being a knobhead now anyway.
Normal service resumed.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Then I call him Dr. Catford now anyway.
Listen, Ellie battered me other night when I called him that.
Yeah, he will do. He will. Anyway, I kind of got off on a tangent there. So yeah, in terms of big prizes on there,
so 10 grand still there. There's still all eight of those £2,000. I mean, even £2 grand. Who turned the nose up at that? £1,200 Jet 2 voucher, 2 iMacs, 2 Apple MacBook Air. You've got 17 separate 1,000. That's just in that instant win section alone. There is £17,000. It is absolutely absurd, this competition, isn't it?
100%. And the thing is, don't get it twisted. £1,000 at Christmas time will help anybody. I don't care who you are. That could be two of them. If you've got teenagers, 2 of the big main presents paid, Xbox, PlayStations, all that 100%. Type of stuff. Or even if you've got 3 small kids, £300 each, there or thereabouts. Scott Smith's, mate.
Or if you've got one, or if like me, you've got one child with expensive taste who thinks you're a secret multimillionaire drug dealer. Because I keep getting stuff pinged through to my WhatsApp. I'd really like this for Christmas. It's like, yeah, okay, then keep dreaming, kid.
I feel awful at the minute. So my daughter's broke her phone, what she got last Christmas, and she's had to take an old phone and put a SIM card in it, and she's asking me for a new one. But because we're so close to Christmas...
That's your Christmas present, kid.
Yeah, no, but I can't do that. So it's like, I'm trying to drag it out until 25th of December because it's not a million miles away now. We're on 12th of November. It's 5 weeks, 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Because if I go out and get her a new phone now, how much are iPhone 16s now? About frigging...
1,400 quid if you want the... If you want one at top at range ones.
Yeah, no, she's not getting that.
About a grand. Even a bog standard iPhone, you're talking what? 800-900 quid?
This is it. So then if I went out there and did that now, then it's like I take the thunder away from Christmas a little bit because what do I then get her? Because I know that's what she really needs at the minute.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's a tough one. I don't know.
I'm same with my kids. It's like I had this conversation with my wife a couple of days ago. My youngest daughter, she's had a massive growth spurt, and she looks like nobody's child at the minute because like all the trousers look like they're divorced in her ankles. And I'm like,
it's so weird you've just mentioned this because I literally went to Matalan, not yesterday, the day before, to get Harrison new trousers.
yeah.
Everything, new school trousers, new jeans, new thingy, because he's got an 8 and he is 8-year-old, and all of a sudden the 8s don't fit.
Oh well, you've seen the size of my daughter. She's like that.
Yeah. So anyway, Jade Duffield, how are we doing? Chris Asquith has put 500 would help me, or anything for £2 life changing. Definitely. Do you know on this one as well? I'm sure there's 10 separate runner-up prizes of £1,000.
Yes, there is.
So there's 10 grand there. So you think how many winners you make in there? That 100 grand is going to be life changing. I genuinely, obviously, as a business, we say anybody that buys a ticket deserves the chance to win.
100%.
What I'm going to say is, I hope it goes to somebody that's going to make a massive difference. It's going to change the life and turn it around completely, where they're going to spend it on something that will have a massive impact on their daily life. What I mean by that is that anybody's entitled to do this, but they're not just going to spunk it up wall.
Yeah.
And then in 6 months' time be like, oh shit,
there's nothing left.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean, 100 grand as well. I don't care if you've already got money and you're already financially stable. 100 grand is massive.
Do you know what I'd do with that? If I was in a council house,
you could easily buy it. You could buy any council house with that.
I'd put in for the right to buy. Yeah. Buy it. Because do you know why? You double your money.
Yeah, it's an investment.
You double your investment. If you did that and you bought it, say for instance your house is worth 200 grand. Most council houses are now maybe a tiny bit over, sometimes under 150s, 160s, 180s, 200s. So let's say for instance you've got 50% discount, which is the average these days. And I think you get an extra 1% for every year that you've been in there. So let's say you go through that. Very easy to go through the solicitors because you've won it. So there's no issues. You don't need to provide books or like bank statements, nothing like that, because in terms of money laundering, you've won the money tax-free in your bank, clear and cut. They'd probably ask for a letter from us to say,
we could send them live video.
Yeah, just to confirm. So then what I'd do is I'd go by my council house, because then I know you've got to sit on top of it for 5 years, but you've just turned your 100 grand into 200 grand.
Yeah. Yeah,
which is insane.
Yeah, I need to start building the pot up to start to buy mine.
Yeah, so you've got sometimes work smarter, not harder.
Ooh.
Make your money work for you, so that's definitely what I would do. I'm in the process of buying mine. I don't mind telling people at the moment. So I was given a council place when I was homeless, and it was SAFA, the army charity, and Leeds City Council. So Leeds City Council, when I first went, even though I'd split custody of the kids, we'll go on about this in the podcast, they turned around and said, you are Band C. Which Band C, they told me,
it's the lowest band.
To my face, right, even though I'd split custody of the kids and I had a letter in black and white from the kid's mum saying he has split custody, not interested. Their main home is classed as Jane's, so those kids are housed. They don't need to stay with you. That's what they said to me. Band C. And they said,
crazy,
right to my face in the interview thing, I still remember it to this day, 8 to 10 years. That was 6 years ago. This is without all the migrant crisis and all that lot. They said 8 to 10 years.
Do you want to know how long I was on the council list before we got a council property?
Go on.
13 years.
I can believe it.
13, and literally it took. We probably would still have been on it had, unfortunately, my wife become quite ill.
Yeah. So then you got like the Band-Aid priority for disability.
Yeah, and even then, so. And again, I don't mind telling you, we applied for a house with we were applying for houses with adaptations that would obviously help my wife's condition and make just life a little bit easier. And the house we ended up being offered and the house we're now living in, we were 54th on the list.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what happened to me. So I contacted because obviously when I was homeless and stuff, and I was going through really, really bad depression, and I reached out to an army charity called SAFA because I said, I felt suicidal and all that good stuff. We'll get into it in more detail when we do the podcast. And I reached out to them and said, is there any help or support? I'm in a really bad place, bad space at the moment. And I told them everything that was going on, and they said, do you know, being ex-service, that there's an agreement in place with Leeds City Council, in fact with most councils, that if you've served in the armed forces, you get Band A priority.
That's how it should be, mate. You've
But
literally put your
people,
life on the line for this country.
But listen, mate, right?
But they don't advertise it.
So I went into the housing meeting with them, and I had all my proof of service records. I had my discharge certificate. I had all sorts, everything all there. And I never mentioned it once. Whether that's through a lack of education on their side, and obviously the customer service are just not aware of it or whatnot. But anyway, so they liaised with the council and managed to get me Band A priority. Now, Band A priority still doesn't mean you're going to get an house tomorrow.
No.
It just
still waiting a good few months.
Yeah, it gives you. I think so. Basically, what happened was ridiculous, really. So I'd been sort of like almost for about 12 months, and my mum took me in, but it was literally it was an office. And I still remember it to this day, actually. I'm going to see if I can pull out the photograph, because I took a photo to take it to housing to show them the living conditions that we were living in. So imagine a box room, an office, and you can pretty much fit a single bed in there, if that. You cannot swing a cat in there. So we went down to B&M's and we bought one of those single metal bed frames, which cost about 60 quid, and a mattress, a really cheap mattress. And there were me and my daughter at the time, so she's 13 now, so she'll have been about 7. And when she come over to stay, we had to top and tail in the single bed. And at the side of us, on the right-hand side, were a travel cot. And I still remember this travel cot. It was one of those, it was from Bewley's Hotel, and it was one that Jane had borrowed when she worked there. So literally, we had a single metal bed and a travel cot what Harrison was sleeping in at the side, and that was it in the room. So we stayed like that for probably about 9-10 months, and then when they finally gave me that Band A, I kept bidding all the time, and that went on for about 5-6 months. And then what happened was they contacted me, and they went, congratulations. 1 minute. God, I need a bit of water. Just give me 2 seconds.
1 minute, guys. Don't go with those headphones on. We've tried that one before.
Right, I'm back. So, yeah, basically, they rang me and said, oh, congratulations, you've been offered a property. And it was a new build apartment place. It was down, I think it was near Bermingtoffs or Eber Gardens or something. It was down there, but it was brand new and it looked stunning. Oh, no, Richmond.
Richmond Hill?
Yeah, Richmond, that was the area. And basically what happened was they offered me it. Said I could have it. I started making loads of arrangements to obviously move and stuff and get everything sorted. Then they phoned me back 3 days later and they said, oh, we've got some really bad news. I said, what? They said, we're going to have to take it off you.
What?
Listen to this, right? So I said, what do you mean you're going to have to take it off me? I said, I've told family, friends, started putting things in places. People are trying to give me stuff to set me up and all the rest of it and on all this lot. And she said, yeah, well, the reason why we're taking it off you is because you haven't got a local connection to that ward. She said, can you prove any connection to the Richmond area?
What? That's
but
crazy.
Even though the postcode is LS9, and my mum and everybody else lived in LS9, but they were from Gipton, not Richmond.
So it's where they're from, not necessarily where they were living.
Yeah. So you had to have some sort of connection to that area, either a job, you worked there, you had family, friends, something along those lines. So they took it off me.
That is balmy.
So what happened then was I contacted my local MP because I was furious, mate. Obviously, that was absolutely devastating. I thought, it's a fresh start for me and kids and, it's going to be absolutely amazing. We're going to be able to finally start as life together. And it was like just having it snatched from underneath you. It was just brutal. So anyway, I wrote to my MP. I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was Richard Bergen. It was somebody anyway. And I explained everything that had gone on and said, look, ex-services, this is what's been going on in my personal life. I said, and then they offered me it and took it away.
That's insane.
And within 24 hours, mate, of that email going out,
You were offered.
I got a call from housing.
Saying we can't
I'm
offer you that
so
one.
sorry. We didn't mean to. We've not thought about what we've done here and how that's impacted you. Blah blah blah. We've got somewhere for you. They were like, it's not ready yet, but we're. I can't remember how they label it, but it's like an off advertising, a direct let. I think they called it.
Direct. Like, why does that sound familiar?
So direct let is basically where they've not advertised it on the website or anything. They're just giving you it straight away. So they're just saying, right, there it is. We're not going to put it up for bidding, anything like that. We're just going to give you it straight away.
That makes sense.
And that's the place that I'm in now. And
The place you call home.
yep. So and I've been there for 5 years, 6 years now, and then I've put in to finally buy it, which is great. Looking forward to buying it, and then I'm going to rip it all out and do what I need to do to it. So yeah,
Exciting times ahead.
it is humble beginnings.
Do you know what else I'm excited about?
Go on.
Lunch, because I'm starving.
Yeah, so am I. It is 5-1, guys. But yeah, like all interesting stuff like this, the first ever podcast is going to be recorded tomorrow. In fact, so the first one will be up, and then the week after we've got some lovely guests coming in. The first ever guest, and a really beautiful story. Cannot wait to hear this one. It's the lovely ladies from Homeless Street Angels,
Shelley and Becky Joyce.
They're going to be talking about drug addiction, the loss of the sister through drugs, the party lifestyle, the things that they were tied up in and around, and how it destroyed and ruined their lives, and how quick, through that they lost the sister,
and the turnaround as well, the massive turnaround that
100%.
That they've gone through.
Yeah, and how that's then motivated them to want to lift people off the street, do things for them. They started the Homeless Street Angels. They've won awards. They've just taken over a brand new building. It's like is it like a 350 or 400 grand building?
£350,000 office building in Meanwood.
Yeah, and when they tell their story, it's going to be really, really impactful, because I mean, if they can come from that and change their life completely round, from being on the streets, taking drugs, all that stuff, having to do, I don't want to tell this story too much, but some of the stuff that they've had to do to obviously get money to pay for drugs. So it's going to be a really, really interesting story.
And Becky does not pull punches. She tells you everything. She does not give a shit. She will tell you exactly as it is. She's a right character, is Becky. She's a lovely, lovely lady. Can't wait to have her on.
Yep, so it's going to be amazing as well. So the two guys that helped us with the video, the Bad Santa video, it was Liam and Tune. So they want to come on and they want to speak about obviously, their medical condition and having dwarfism, how that impacted them growing up through bullying and stuff and having no confidence, to then completely changing his life around, becoming a stripper. And
Tune is one of the smallest bodybuilding champions in the world.
Yeah.
And listen, let me tell you, that guy is ripped.
Yeah. Completely ripped. Hey, listen, I don't mind. We'll get it on that wide view, and he can take his top off and show everyone.
Listen, and we had such a laugh with them guys.
He's the most fun. I had a proper heart-to-heart conversation. Do you know when we were driving back? I think we were going to Sid's.
Yeah.
To do that last final scene when we blew the car up, and we had a proper heart-to-heart, me and him, and he was telling me everything going on and stuff, and it was inspirational. And now he started up this business where he's giving opportunity to other people that have dwarfism, and giving them a space where they can feel safe and earn ridiculous amounts of money.
Some of the stories,
wow,
like some of the figures that he were coming out with were like, what?
Yeah.
And listen, all power to him, mate. Because do you know when I'm a firm believer in when life gives you lemons, make fucking lemonade, baby.
Yeah, 100%.
And listen, those guys are killing it.
He was showing us his dogs, and he was laughing his head off because he's like, "Look, I weigh next to no." He goes,
Dogs had bigger shits than him.
Yeah,
we
he was
were
saying-
having a right laugh with him, weren't we?
He was saying that he rescued this dog, right? He rescued this dog, little puppy, didn't think note of it, and raised it, and didn't realise it was this crazy, massive breed. And
It's like a wolf breed, wasn't
yeah,
it?
the dog's now like 80 kilos. And it takes him for a walk. It's so funny. We show him a photograph, like it looked like it could eat him. So yeah, looking forward to that. But thank you very much, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow for the main live draw. Go get involved. Grab yourself some tickets. It only takes one to win that watch on that massive 10 grand tomorrow.
Certainly does.
But yeah.
We will see you all live on Facebook tomorrow night at 7:30.
Thank you very much, everybody. And yeah, 1 minute. Let me just. I've lost my mouse. Oh, there we go.
Hey,
There we
full
go.
screen.
There we go. So yeah, thank you very much, everybody. Have a lovely rest of the afternoon, and we'll see you tomorrow. 7:30 on the dot. Go get involved. Grab yourself some tickets. There's not that many prizes tomorrow. I think there's only 4 in there.
Yeah, it should be a quick draw tomorrow.
We're going to get the website stacked as well. I do apologise. Obviously, with us being away from the business poorly, it's just one of those things. But yeah, cool. Thank you very much, everybody. Take